Warning: contains description of gore and violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Chapter 21: The Injury. With Red Claw's predecessor taken out, Stephanie and her pack were no longer a threat to the mysterious beyond, or the Great Valley. Chomper limped into the valley, seeing his friends were all right. A little bruised, maybe a few cuts, but overall were alive, much to his relief. Guido gazed upon the bite mark, shaking and pointing at them. "You might want to think about tending to that." "Yeah, it hurts." Littlefoot inspected it, finding a few teeth managed to sink deep within the flesh. Chomper, there are a few teeth in there." Sarah rose and shook her head, seeing Chomper was hurt. "Wow, what'd I miss?" "Chomper is hurt. He is," Ducky said, peering down to the gruesome marks. "Oh, that no look good." "Right. Spike, Tippy, Littlefoot, Sarah, hold him down. Petrie, find me a sharp rock. Ducky, get me some water to clean the cut." Ruby knelt by the leg, studying it, trying to figure out what to do once all items were brought to her. "Don't worry, Chomper. You're going to be okay. All right you will be." Guido stood by, wringing his hands while his eyes were wide as saucers. "This is bad. This is really, really bad." "Even I have to admit, this looks pretty awful," Thud said, seeing Screech sit up and rub his head. "Good, sweetie, you're awake." The frostbiter saw the gang hold Chomper down, Spike ambling off to a tree. Seeing this, Sarah spoke. "Spike, this is no time to eat." When he came back, he offered the trunk for Chomper to bite onto for the pain. "Oh, never mind." "Okay, you good, Chomper?" Littlefoot asked, seeing Chomper nod, muffling out a yes. "Right. Ruby, it's up to you now." Hand shaking, Ruby used the sharp rock to widen the cut, hoping to get her fingers in enough to pull the embedded teeth out. Blood covered her hands, dripping down Chomper's leg and pooling on the grass. Thrashing, it took all their strength to keep him from moving or hurting Ruby while she worked. His jaw bit the trunk, making it crack, slowly breaking in two. Around them, the trees trembled and the ground shook, all caused by Chomper, who was in agony. Behind Ruby, Ducky covered her mouth and rushed off to retch behind the cover of brush. Screech and Thud grimaced, shaking their heads. Petrie made a face of disgust, Guido panicking and rambling out. "It's not that bad, Chomper. Why, there was this time I saw this guy break his leg to the point where the bone stuck out. I mean, it was awful, horrible to look at." "Guido, how'd this help?" It's not. It isn't. I was simply trying to make him feel better." "You'd make us all feel better by shutting up." The trunk snapped, and Chomper let loose a thunderous roar, making the gang shrink due to how loud it was. Tears ran down his face. Chomper shouted and arched back, restrained by his friends. Littlefoot pitied Chomper, rubbing his muzzle to Chomper's head. "It'll be over soon. Hang in there, buddy." "Push through the pain there, Chomper. Do what the three horns do. No pain, no gain." "Yeah, you got this," Tippy said, Spike nuzzling Chomper in a comforting manner. "How's it going, Ruby?" Littlefoot asked, peering up to see how she was getting on with the removal of the teeth. "Almost there, but this is going to hurt." Her fingers were over the gash, pausing, looking at her love. "Forgive me for this." In a flash, her fingers entered the flesh deeper, moving around inside to locate the source of his pain. Eyes rolling back, Chomper bellowed and jerked side to side, digging his right heel into the ground, for the injured one was held down, Ruby kneeling beside it. Ducky walked back, only to grab her bill and turn away, throwing up again at the sight of all the blood. Petrie buried his face into Guido, who stood with his mouth gaped open. Screech and Thud walked off at that point, unable to endure the scene any more. Among all, Ruby and Littlefoot seemed to hold it together, knowing Chomper was upset enough without their emotions getting the better of them. "We've got you. We're here," Littlefoot spoke softly, feeling Chomper shake and sob into his shoulder, showing a good deal of endurance throughout. Ruby wasn't one to get upset. yet she was unable to fish out the remaining tooth, looking up to meet Littlefoot's worried gaze. With a shake of her head, she withdrew her hand from the wound, looking to Petrie. "Petrie, your hands are small. See if you can get it out." "Me? You want me to do that?" "Yes, get over here. We must hurry." Chomper shook his head, leading up. No, I think I can do it myself." With the help of his friends, he managed to sit up, seeing the wound for himself. Not to mention the blood covered Ruby's hands and arms, and she held a sorrowful expression. "I'm sorry, Chomper. I did what I could." "It's all right, Ruby. You did a fine job." Hand going over the cut, he focused on the item in his leg. All peered down, seeing something move around within, Guido passing out at the mere sight of it. Then the bits of teeth were torn out and tossed away. "Done!" Unable to remain upright, Chomper slumped back. "Chomper!" Ruby was there, gazing at him with worry. "Ruby, I understand now," he said, looking at her with a tender and tired gaze. What is it you understand?" His hand went to her cheek. "I see you," he uttered, eyes welling with tears. "I see you. All of you." With a half smile, she cried too. "I see you." Vision blurry, he shut his eyes and gave in to his tiredness. The gang shared concerned looks, yet Ruby knew he was okay, just that he was exhausted. Running her hand along his face, she planted a kiss on his muzzle, wanting him to know she was there for him. The gap was covered by leaves, and Chomper slept most of the time, waking and finding Ruby by his side. Screech and Thud were there too, along with the gang. All held expressions of joy, Sarah stepping forward. "Look who decided to grace us with his presence." You're all here for me?" "Yeah, and to say this. Why would you leave us when we needed you the most? You idiot!" While the Frostbiters couldn't understand Leafeater, they knew enough that Sarah was yelling. "Boy, I don't know about you, but I'd hate to be a mate to someone like that," Screech said, leaning over to a wide-eyed Thud, who only nodded. "Easy, Sarah. Chomper just woke up and must be really tired still." Littlefoot pushed a pile of fish toward Chomper. "Oh, boo-hoo! We were all there, all tired, but you don't hear me complaining." "We happy you okay," Petrie said. "Yeah, we thought you were a goner for a minute. Least, I thought you were." "So, will you be staying here?" Ducky asked, placing her hand on Chomper's muzzle. "The members of the valley know how you saved us, for we told them all. We sure did. Yep. "Well, for a while, till the island has time to grow back. Though Screech, Thud, and I will have to go foraging for food." He then turned at Ruby. "But this time, I promise I'll be back." "Boss, you okay? Honest?" Thud asked, stepping closer. "Yeah, otherwise everything we did would have been for nothing." "I swear I'm good." Chomper slowly got to his feet, Littlefoot and Sarah stepping forward to aid him in walking. "None of that matters now. All that matters is Chomper recovers," Ruby said. Once they reached the caverns, Ruby and her parents made a nest for Chomper, who lay and tried to rest. Days passed, and the 3 Sharptooth remained within the Great Valley, the members leery, yet keeping their opinions to themselves. Ruby left the caverns to find plants to help heal Chomper, returning to find he was awake. "You should be resting. Resting you should be," Ruby said, sitting and preparing to inspect the wound. "Ruby, well, things happened really fast." Chomper grimaced when she removed the leaves, trying to continue. "We really didn't get a chance to talk." "No, you've been gone most of the time." "I had that one coming." "I shouldn't have said that. That was not nice to say." "I'm not mad. Mad at you I'm not." "You have every right to be upset. I know saying it won't heal or make up for my behavior, but I'm truly sorry for leaving you. I thought you'd be safer here, better off without me. You seem to forget I have a choice too, and I'd stay by you, no matter the danger, 'cause that's what being mates means to me. Ruby looked upon the great gash, pouring water over it. I think we just rushed in too quickly. We're so tired of being alone, we never considered what being together truly meant. Time will tell. If we manage to work through this, I'll return with you to the island. If not, I'll remain here in the valley. That's something I can agree to. They shared a smile, Chomper laying his head down to sleep. The wound took its toll on him, Chomper getting a slight fever, unable to move for several days, the gang taking turns helping Ruby tend to him. Do you think he'll die? Sarah! Don't listen to her, Ruby. You know how Sarah can be. What? You want me to lie and act like everything's okay? All I'm asking is for you to be a bit more sensitive. Oh boy, here we go with the feelings thing. If he can get through this, he might stand a chance, Ruby said, patting Chomper's forehead. It was touch and go, Ruby finding she couldn't sleep, fearful of losing Chomper. While she was still a bit mad, she found holding a grudge wasn't the answer and realized how fleeting their time together really was. She vowed that should he live, she'd remain by his side, for at the end of the day she loved him, didn't want to be apart from him. No, she wanted to grow old with him, enjoy their island home. All she could do was wait, hope, plead for his survival.